Alright, good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, whichever time zone you're in. Welcome to the channel. This will be our first official video. Coming a little earlier than we thought, but that's alright. Today we're going to go over what we have for our one piece of equipment and its attachments. Now, it is fairly small, but we all got to start somewhere, and you start with what normally you can pay for cash. So, we're going to get into it. We're going to look around the machine, some service points, some general information, just a general overview. And then, we'll slide on up to the trailer here and up onto the deck, check out this little unit. Now, it's a fairly basic machine, basic hydraulics. Any hoe operator will recognize this pattern as the ISO or industry standard, or not deer controls, because deer controls. Going around the back here, this mesh area, nice airflow, home to the Briggs XR series 13.5 horse gas engine. Might be a little hard to see buried in there, but she's in there. Coming around, got a control panel, lack of a better term, throttle, standard cable throttle with lock, and then headlight switch, unlock switch for the hydraulic quick connect, which this machine doesn't have, and then the adjustable undercarriage, which this machine doesn't have, which is fine. That's the way I ordered it. I didn't want all that stuff. Coming around, there's your hydraulic tank in there behind the mesh somewhere. Yeah, that area. Your hydraulic sight. Is there any oil in there? Sure, good enough. Yep, there's oil. I see it. Coming around, even give you a horn. Look at that. In there is a horn. It's great because you're loading trucks left, right, and center with this. Approved. It is loud though. 93 decibels. I definitely agree with that. Ear protection while running these, 100% a thing. And down here, you see your two walking motors. They are exposed. Keep that in mind. But, you can see them. It's not like you're going to ignore it. Coming back up, just a standard boom on this machine. They do talk about a U-boom, which puts this cylinder over here and away from things. But again, I ordered mine without that for reasons. Coming on down, here we have the auxiliary block for set attachments, as well as the hydraulic thumb, which actually has quite a bit of grip. Further on down is is your quick attach, or mechanical quick attach, I should say. And we'll go over how that all works and play with that and not drop a bucket on our feet because we're 2% smarter than the machine. Of course, right? Yeah, guaranteed. A nice little digging bucket here that came with the machine. Come around, kind of the same deal on the other side. It all looks the same, your aux block here, hydraulic lines. I do like how they are on the inside of the boom. Serviceability is a bit of a pain with that, but I do like it better. I think it protects them. And then we do have some other lines on the back. That's a good mix. It's fine. It's not going to hurt anyone. It's not going to make your life that miserable. And then here's your serial plate. So this is see here, it's a JT5 Sure, yeah. Really, this is a RIPA machine underneath, built for JoyT5, who have gone through and upgraded some things, and we will get into that later on, in either in this video or maybe a different video. There is kind of a bit to cover on that. Now, in here, 2 grease points. Yeah, don't go ham on them. Every 10 hours. Getting the good grease. Coming around. you do have this nice, fancy Rolls-Royce Bugatti looking foot pad, which makes you feel all top of the world. And then you have your blade control here, and your aux control over here, which does your attachments and your thumb. Battery voltage gauge, hour meter, travel sticks, and then standard, again, cat controls for your hoe. Nice fuel gauge. At least you can see what's going on in there. Kill switch. Air intake of sorts, for sure. Yep, that's it. Air intake. Pretty basic seat. Under the seat, when you pull off that wing nut and that wing nut, as well as just loosen this wing nut and that wing nut, slider forward and up and off, and that'll get you to the top of the engine, which gets you to the top of the fuel tank as well. Serviceability is not bad. Getting into serviceability, well, that bolt there, sorry, that bolt there, that bolt there, and that bolt there, that bolt in there somewhere, yeah, sure. Those get this whole rear cover off, and it's not too heavy, not too light, but not too heavy, and you can take it off and service the machine that way if you have to. I have had to get in there a couple times to fiddle with some things, because, hey, you know, things happen. Nothing's perfect when it comes out of the container, and that's just the way life goes. Sometimes you just got to tweak some things or tighten something. I know there was a few bolts here and there that were loose, a couple panels rattled. Not that big of a deal. I'm not upset by it. I actually kind of expect it. There were a few leaks on the hoses as well. Again, I've been through new equipment. They does do that. They do leak. They're new. You know, they need to settle in and do things. So then we'll jump down here. Carefully, of course. Don't want to roll an ankle. And simple track design on the side. So, you know, drive, bogey, or idler, or whatever. And then large idler. Small idlers, large idler, whatever you want to call them. It doesn't matter. But very simple, very basic, which is good. Now, right here, yeah, that right there. That's how you adjust the tension. You will have to do that. I've had to do it twice now, which again, things are settling in. It's new. It's going to happen. It does have a fairly stout little dozer blade, which, as you can see, I've put some hours on. And then the hydraulics, as well as the frame assembly for the dozer blade there. It's, again, it's not meant to be a 3-4-way machine, 6-way machine, what have you. It's good enough to hold the machine in place as well as push some dirt. It's not a finishing blade by any means. It is a little jumpy in that regard, but don't ask it to do things it's not supposed to do. Something to write home about. Hey, but it's done. So what we're going to do next is we'll go over how to switch attachments with this mechanical quick connect. So simply put, pull this out, and then with your supplied crescent wrench, or your Ukrainian socket set, or whatever you want to call it, pull down on this after this tab is extracted. We will do this in live action for you, so you can see how it works. Pull pin out, wrench down, buckets released, buckets back engaged, because, you know, can't do that right the first time. Buckets out, grab it, pull it down. Don't do that. Don't use your feet. Wear steel toes. Yeah, safety. We'll throw the rake on, simply reverse of what we just did, but we'll show you anyways, because that way we're thorough. Now, I could have just used the machine to pick that up and done that, But these attachments really don't weigh a whole lot until you get into the ones that have hydraulic attachments or hydraulics on them, as in the auger, the tilt bucket, anything else like that. I believe there's a grapple that they're working on for these machines as well. Those have some weight to it. Your standard buckets, clean out buckets, rakes, rippers, they don't have any weight. You're good to hand bomb those. But keep in mind, use your ergonomics, don't wreck your back. It's just an attachment, plus there's a machine there, so use that too. So looks like we're losing daylight there. Oh yeah, that's bright. Yep, we got about another hour or 2 hours here. So we're going to wrap this up. But before we do, there's something I do want to show you. And that is where JoyT5 attachments are making a difference in quality. And it is actually in a very small part, but a very critical part. So we look here on this brand new clean out bucket. You'll see these notches right here around the opening for your pins. You'll see on the other parts of the machine, we don't have said notches. That is because they have developed their own pin, which is notched, greasable, and comes with a nylock nut on the other side. Now, the reason that this is greasable is because on standard machines without the mechanical or hydraulic quick connect, this pin and this pin are actually stationary and stay with the attachment. But they also need to be lubricated. While there's lubrication right there and way up in there, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it because, you know, sunlight stuff, there are grease points. But this is added grease points. These pins add grease points. And as you can see right here, nice little hole there for grease. Nice metric grease cert. And again, the nylock nut. So we'll slap this together. And the only thing I'm going to say is when you put the pin in and you run it across, so on and so forth, don't send this right home. You need a little bit of play in here, otherwise you will never get it off of your quick connect. How do I know that? Well, let's just say I learned the hard way, like most things. Alright, well, with the clean out bucket on, we will wrap it up here. There will be other videos on the machine. Do comment below on what you would like to see in particular. I have no problem blowing this thing apart, taking the back off, taking seat off, whatever you'd like to see. Unfortunately today we did not get to that, the tilt bucket. We are obviously running out of daylight, and being early November in southern Alberta, I'm grateful for the nice weather we've had and, you know, the beautiful day we've had today and the evening that we're going to have. So I'm going to clean up my mess here, because any good operator and any good company owner does not leave a mess for their customer or for anyone else to clean up after them. Thanks again for watching. You guys take care, and we'll see you later.